everybody, it's the Gnome, and welcome to the newest installment of my DCAU update series. If you are new to my channel, first of all, let me say welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. And for all of you DC fans out there who are returning, I'm sure you're very excited as we review the newest installment, the 33rd, although there are certain films in this DC animated library that I consider to be one movie split into two parts, which is why I do what I do. And this newest film is Justice League versus the Fatal Five. So there were a lot of things that were making me very excited about this movie. One is the fact that this is going back to the Bruce Timm original animation, Batman the Animated Series, Superman Animated Series, Justice League, Batman Beyond. So of course, it was really exciting to see that animation style because it has been a while since we have actually seen this classic animation. I believe it was Justice League Gods and Monsters. Also the fact that we had George Newbern returning to voice Superman, Kevin Conroy returning to voice Batman, and Susan Eisenberg returning to voice Wonder Woman. But this was also going to be an exciting thing because we were going to get a little bit more into the Justice League, because this film definitely is a continuation of that specific universe, but we got a little bit of an expansion, including a great amount of time given to Mr. Terrific, who is a DC character that I am still relatively new to, and love the fact that Kevin Michael Richardson returned to voice him as well. We also had one of the newer Green Lanterns, which is a female Green Lantern named Jessica Cruz, as well as Miss Martian getting her chance in this specific DC animated universe storyline. We also get the Fatal Five. The Fatal Five, we were introduced to them in a later episode of Justice League Unlimited, but our main heroes, meaning Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, had never seen them. That specific episode revolves around Supergirl. So it was really exciting to see this group of villains back, as well as the return of the Legion of Superheroes. They have also given us a couple of episodes in this wonderful universe. As a matter of fact, the Bruce Timm and DC group even gave us a Legion of Superheroes television series. So to get all of these things into one of these DC animated universe films was such a breath of fresh air and something that was exciting. And let me tell you, not only is it an excellent story, it has great nostalgia. That's one of the few things that I have to harp on in regards to this movie. The nostalgia factor is there. When Superman makes his first appearance and you hear the Superman animated series theme in the background, believe me, I got as giddy as a schoolgirl. It felt so awesome just to get a little bit of that back. But this is not just a great Justice League story. As a matter of fact, this is an excellent Green Lantern story. It is also something that DC has actually tackled a couple of times in their comic books, but we haven't really seen so much of this in animation, and that is a little bit of an understanding of mental health and anxiety. We focus a lot on Jessica Cruz, who is trying to become the newest Green Lantern, but due to some events that happened in her past, she is afraid to even go out of the house because she is afraid she is going to get seriously hurt. We also have one of the Legion of Superheroes characters named Starboy, who also has a mental disorder. Not necessarily what it was considered in the future, but in the past, where he ends up, it turns out to be a case of paranoid schizophrenia. So to actually see these specific topics brought into something like a DC animated movie is a very important thing, because mental health is a very big discussion, especially in the YouTube community. So the fact that we actually get a movie that focuses on this, tries to give the average watcher a little bit of an understanding, it's fantastic. The villains are just absolutely insane. It is just crazy to see these 5 vicious future villains, because they are so dark, they take no prisoners, they will just kill you even if they only know you for 2 seconds. And to get a little bit more of them, even though we did get a little bit of a taste of them in Justice League Unlimited, to actually focus as having them as the main villains was definitely a real treat for this specific movie. This movie has excellent action, it's got great comedy, it's also got a lot of great dramatic moments, beautiful bonds of friendship. But if you were someone who watched all of these great shows going all the way back to Batman the Animated Series, you're gonna get so many awesome surprises that will just lift your spirits and remind you of those good old days watching those shows, because they give you a lot more than what you think you're going to get. I also appreciated the fact that they changed up the Justice League lineup for this one, but they still managed to throw out a couple of nods to other Justice League members, letting you know, yes, they're still here, but they're on another mission, so they're not here right now. Also, seeing Miss Martian was kind of cool for me, because as a Young Justice fan, it was nice to actually see a nod to Young Justice as well by giving us one of those specific heroes, even though Young Justice and the DC animated universe are two separate animals, but I still consider them to be a part of Bruce Timm's animated universe. It was still nice to get a little bit of youth roped in there, especially with the way that she bounced off of Batman and the way that she tried to communicate with Jessica Cruz as Green Lantern. A very nice thing. But it's a great, powerful, meaningful, uplifting story with excellent DC action. I did not anticipate feeling so positive about Justice League versus the Fatal Five, but after I finished watching that movie, it has become one of my absolute favorites. I want to watch this movie as soon as possible again for the second time. And I gotta tell you guys, 2019 is off to a fantastic start. We've got two great DC animated films under our belts already, and seeing the preview for Batman Hush makes me all the more excited for what's coming for the rest of 2019. So if you haven't seen Justice League versus the Fatal Five yet, I highly recommend that you do. You are going to absolutely love it, especially if you've been a fan of the DC animated world for many, many years already. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Justice League versus the Fatal Five. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next month when we pay tribute to the 80th anniversary of Batman with another DC animated film, Around the Dark Knight. I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.